Hey everyone, it's Monica with KydzLydz for my journey to a happier, healthier me. And what's the date today? October the 5th. See, I don't have my planner in front of me. So, it's 9:37 and I'm just going to record and then check my emails and then go to bed. Had my plans to go to my appointment today. Got myself all psyched up and I got off school early. I was going to come home and shower. Notice how I'm saying was. I was going to come home and shower. Marina had an appointment at 5:30 and then I had my therapist appointment at 6 o'clock. And then she was going to come downstairs with me to my regular doctor's appointment for my womanly exam at 6:30. So, I'm at school and I'm, talking to my teacher, telling her I'm going to leave early. So she gives me all my work before I leave. And then I'm coming home on the bus and it's like 2 hours, so I decide that I better go to the bathroom. And guess what? So needless to say, I couldn't go for my exam today. So I now have to postpone it again. This time it was not because of nerves or anything, so I'm very happy about that part. But it was still very frustrating for me because I was all psyched up today to do it and get it over and done with. And anyway, so that's the beginning of my video. Breather. It was a really good day for food. I made the shifu tofu barbecue this morning with some the bean and pea noodles. They're like glass noodles. They're so good. So all I did was just fry it up in the frying pan. I didn't put anything in it, and then I put it on top of the noodles with a little bit of plum sauce and soy sauce on the noodles for Marina. She had it too for lunch. Absolutely loved it. It's a little bit spicy and really, really nice. So that's a definite buy again. Thumbs up. And then for school today, I brought grapes and I brought corn chips because I'm craving salt right now. So yeah, that's my only thing. Kind of bad, but they're so good. And I love them. And I have to have them sometimes. And you know what? They're not that bad. And then I had I had the noodles and the tofu for lunch. And then when I came home, Kevin bought me some extra firm tofu. So actually, when I first came home, I went to lay down. Just, like I've said before in my videos, don't know how long you've been watching for, but during that time, I get exhausted. Like, not just tired, like exhausted. Like, can't even function exhausted. So the fact that I made it through the day at school without falling asleep, huge bonus for me. So I came home, passed out, and Kevin took Marina to the doctor's. So, got up and cubed up the tofu in little tiny pieces and pan fried it with just some basil vegan margarine. And then I put the glass noodles in it and I put Korean barbecue sauce and soy sauce. And I loved it. Kevin's giving a thumb up, but he doesn't like the tofu. Is it the texture? Is it the taste? What is it?
I don't know. Overall, it's not me.
Yeah, he just doesn't like it. Which I totally understand because I only like the firm tofu, and if you were to give me the spongy tofu, like the soft, I can't do it. But for me, it's a texture thing. So, yeah. Anyway, so that was my day of eating. It was really well, really good, really successful, really whatever. And when I first got to school this morning, I went to the gym. Yay, me! Yesterday I couldn't record, by the way, because they were maintaining YouTube, so I couldn't do anything. So I don't remember what I was going to tell you yesterday, but I did. Oh yes, I remember the most important things. Who cares about the food? I got my algebra test back. I got 93%, dudes. Yay! So you know how I celebrated? Where like before, honestly, I would have like went and bought junk food and celebrated that way or treated myself to something, right? I went and worked out at the gym for 40 minutes. Yay me! Lanier came with me, of course, and now we have Sylvia coming with me. She is totally awesome. So this morning, I actually made it to school in like an hour and 15 minutes, which is really good. And I saw Sylvia come off the bus, and she's like, let's go to the gym. I'm like, I'm not ready, because today I was expecting not to go because I had to leave early to go to the doctor's, and then I didn't have my running shoes. And she's like, so what? Just come anyway and just go on the machines that you don't need to walk on. I ended up going on the treadmill anyway, but whatever. So 40-minute workout this morning as well. And I'm working my arms mostly. What are you trying to give me? An eyebrow? Okay, wait. Do I have it? I don't know if you'll be able to see this on camera. He has like the longest, funkiest eyebrows ever. And they're so gross. Oh, you can't see that one. No matter what I do. Well, that sucks.
Measure it.
Let's see if I can see it. No. Anyway, they're like this. And I pluck them all the time. Well, I try it and I go like this because they're like, they stick up. It's really funny. Anyway, off topic. So, my hair's a mess because I went to work out at the gym today. Before I started class, I was all nasty and sweaty. And, yeah, next time I will plan better so that I can have a shower before I go to class. But, today, this is like a truly funny story. Anthe, my teacher for CSM in English, who, by the way, I love, and I've said that in my other videos, comes after lunch today. And she comes in, and she looks at me. She goes to the class, let me come and talk to my blogger. So I started cracking up laughing. So I'm like, oh, you watched my videos? And she's like, no. I'm like, well, you suck. And of course, she's like, what? And then she starts laughing. And I'm like, I can't believe you didn't watch my videos. And she's like, well, I watched one. And she's like, and I did not say that your title page was not nice. I said, I didn't say that. And she's like, no, but you were saying that, you had to hand in a typed one. And I'm like, no, I didn't. So then I felt really bad, right? So I'm like, but miss, you have to watch the other one where I was talking about motivation, and I was telling about how great the, whole class was, and I told everybody about the paper, and read it to them, and so I felt horrible. So I'm sorry. I love you. But, yeah. She totally loves my title page, but because of the way that the system works at school, obviously, and I did explain this, it has to be typed because that's what they expect, right? So, but yeah. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use clip art and shapes and all this really cool stuff that we're learning in computers, and I'm going to try and do up a really funky one. Or what I was thinking, what I was telling Kevin tonight was, it only has to be done on the computer. So technically, the only part that has to be typed is my name and the due date, right? That's how I feel. So I'm just gonna scan whatever whatever my artwork is, and then digitally produce it. This is how crazy I am. Okay? Because I like putting my own little, personality flair into it, and I think that your creativity should be part of your mark. So, we'll see. Anyway, I just thought that I would share that with you. Because her face was priceless. I loved it. It was so funny. And then I'm like, but I didn't complain about you as a teacher. I absolutely love her. And I've said, and I've said so many nice things about her. I've not complained about any of my teachers, by the way. So, she's the only one who has said that she's watched it so far. But, I have nothing to worry about. So, I love them all. I think Amy might watch, because she seems like she would watch it. I was telling her last week when we were watching, at the end of class, we were actually watching Saturday Night Live. One of the skits where the guy's like, can I get your number? Can I get your number? Are you single? Can I get your number? Sorry, I'm really bad at impersonating, but it was so funny. So this girl outside of the classroom was like, what subject is this? I'm like, ECE. She's like, oh my god, I love that show. I'm like, okay, that wasn't part of our program or anything. We were just finished class. Well, I didn't want people to think that in ECE you're watching Saturday Night Live. Not Saturday Night Live. Mad TV, I think. I can't remember. Anyway, I think it's Saturday Night Live. Who cares? So, what else do I have to share with you? Oh, yes. My 5-paragraph essay I started, like, elaborating on it more, and it's a compare or contrast essay, right? I was telling you that. It's a 5-paragraph essay, and what you do is your introduction paragraph has to basically talk about your 2 topics and then your criteria, right? So you have to pick 3 things that are neutral. I did that wrong. So I didn't do it wrong per se, but what I did was I picked subjects that are too controversial. So my whole paper was basically like a persuasive essay. So I don't understand, or sorry, I don't know if you understand what that means, but what it means is that I was kind of like arguing a point versus showing the difference or the similarities, right? So now what I'm going to do is I'm still going to do the vegan and vegetarian topics, but what I'm going to do is talk about neutral things as the actual, I just said it a second ago, criteria, sorry. So I'm going to do food as number 1, clothing as number 2, and skincare as number 3. Because, that way the actual topic itself is neutral, and then I elaborate and say how vegans what foods they can eat, vegetarians what food they can eat, vegans what clothes they can wear, vegetarians what clothes they can wear, like that. So basically I'm looking forward to it because I can voice a lot of my opinion in it and yet have it as the compare and contrast essay, I hope. So she said I should do fine with it. So, and she likes my writing style, which is really cool. But yeah, I've never done a compare and contrast essay, so I am more of a persuasive type writer. So that is very hard for me to go out of that safety zone. So it's a very big challenge for me, which is really cool. What else can I tell you? I don't think there's much else to tell you today. It was like a pretty, that was pretty much it. I did some hats on the bus today, and I made a slipper that I've never made before, and it's really funky. I don't like the way that it actually sits. Like, it's kind of weird, but I'll show that on my Fresh Off the Look Monday. And I made something else too. I can't remember. I've been doing little bookmarks and stuff like that just because I have extra wool. So, and then they're not quite enough to make a hat, so I'm just kind of making bookmarks out of them. That's it. I don't think I started watching anybody new. Actually I did, but sorry, I don't remember his name. Virtually Paul, I think his name is. And he's just starting to vlog, so he's got some pretty cool stuff out there, so I want to say hi to him. And that's it. Alright, everybody. I love you. Keep on rocking. Share your smile. Bye.